Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? I've been trying to rest my voice. Obviously, yesterday was not that long ago, so it's you might get a little rasp every now and then. We'll just say that puberty's hitting. Marilyn, mom, she is my adoptive mom. For those of you that have emailed me, she is not the mom that I talk about. She's my adoptive mom. So please keep that very mindful. She is my adoptive mom. She had nothing to do with how I grew up. Okay. Pup groomer, I see you. Rhonda, I think I said your name. Retired Red, thank you so much for showing. Jamie, nice to see you. Candy's Life. Here we go, everybody. I think we are all checked in. Carol, hi, nice to see you. I like to say hi to everybody because you know I care. Lim Lee, nice to see you. Miss Sunrise, nice. I love that you're in Georgia. Here's the thing. We get back from Los Angeles and we leave and it's beautiful sunshine. Beautiful, inappropriate. Nice to see you. But it's warm, it's nice. You're just like, yes. As soon as we get like 20 minutes outside of Sacramento, the pilot says, be prepared for some turbulence. Put your tray rights in the upright position. And I'm thinking, oh God, is this going to be a scene out of, some creepy movie? Because all of a sudden they're like, hold on to your seats, everybody. We're going down. And I got terrified. I don't fly well, everybody, in case anybody wanted to know. No, I don't fly well. I require medications. Now, to explain a little bit on that, that's simply because when I was 3 years old, I looked like I was 5 years old. So all they had to do was lie and say that I, as a 3-year-old, was 5 and I could fly by myself. So takeoffs and landings are a little unique for me, a little unique. Mandy Me, South Georgia, nice to see you. Simone, hey Liz, that was a great turnout. Yes, it was. Yes, it absolutely was. And that's some of the things that we're going to talk about today. So just in case, we're going to put in a small trigger warning. I'm just going over some of this, mainly just some of the stuff that happened or that I experienced from me being on the other side of that live. Amanda, nice to see you. Joni, hey, ocean loving soul. Thank you so very much for showing up. I do appreciate each and every one of you. So with that trigger warning, if there is nothing, if you are having a bad day, you're having an off day, and you suddenly feel like, you just need to check out for a minute, you need to take a woo-saw and you come back to it later, or you just say it's too much for you, then I'm never going to argue with that, people, ever. Miranda, nice to see you. But it was just to be pretty mindful, because that's how we have to be. Hold on, I want to see this because, Okay, Miranda Brinkler. Hey girl, hey wife, your wife was so cute. Yes, she was all dressed up in her best outfit for Goldenrod and just doing her yeah. My cheerleader came out. My beautiful love cheerleader came out. Mischief. Oh, why isn't it clicking? Liz, glad you're home and safe. Yes, I am home and safe. It made it very easy. Mandy Me, I love your footage of the protest. Well, I appreciate that, because there was a couple times that I made myself a little seasick when I went back and watched it, and I was like, I had to do some editing, which should be being fixed any day. But it was, just one of those things. So here's the thing, everybody, and I'm going to try to, if I miss your question, it's nothing personal. But I'm just going to explain some of the stuff that happened. So first, off as this happened. We did have a permit. Everything was great in that. Um, Jane, night all, I'm going to bed. Well, definitely if you're tired, definitely, but I'll see you on the replay. I promise. I promise. You can always, reach out. A couple of you came down. I don't know which ones precisely, and I want to say thank you because, one, I forgot my glasses and I was trying to figure something out and I think I did something wrong, but it was a little messy that day. I was very overwhelmed. Um but so here's the thing. The security guard got arrested, or so we were told. Every one of the cops were like, "Oh, he's arrested. We're taking him with us." Burka-dicka-dicka. Burka-dicka-dicka. And I'm not going to fault the police officer. I'm not, because you know what? They were told that he was waving a gun around and pointing it at people. So they have to make sure that the public's safe. It's kind of like a he said, she said kind of situation. Um, and so they're trying not to rustle feathers. Um, he did have his weapon on him. He was not swinging it around. He was literally just sitting there watching. Um, and it turned into a very ugly situation. Um, and so he got put in the back of a cop car. There was a little bit of problem showing a couple paperwork had been done completely for him. I guess they left telling everybody he was arrested, and then they brought him back like 10 minutes later, 5 or 10 minutes later. But I was on the other side of CC, so I didn't see him for almost 25, 30 minutes. And then he explained to me, they arrested him, they let him go, they had nothing on him, they were violating his First Amendment, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, wow, that was the first time something like that has worked in our favor. That is fantastic. Okay, let's keep this going. I did my save Bob Ferris. Sorry, everybody. I'm telling you, it might crack. And so for that, I apologize, everybody. So save Bob Ferris, rice and beans are not a meal. What dynamic have you ignored today? And that's again because the second dynamic is supposed to be family. But a lot of people are ignoring their family for the greater good. But per the dynamics, you're supposed to involve all of them. So I am starring questions. Absolutely. If I miss something, once we go back to the questions, definitely let me know. A couple of people came there. One person particularly came there for Nora, and I filled Nora in. So if you were in the chat or you just needed to know, just so you know, Nora has the message. I'm not going to point out who it is because that is not my responsibility to do something like that. But either which way, Nora got the message. We talk all the time still. And so turn around, and one of the situations was a photographer had laid hands on Laura. Now, what they did was they cornered each one of us. So someone cornered me, someone cornered Carrie, someone cornered Vanessa LaRose, someone cornered Tommy. And so these all different people had us cornered and talking to other people. And then come to find out, Laura handled it perfectly in that moment. Because they had laid hands on her. So because they laid hands on her, she announced loud and proud, "Hey, you're not here with us. It's a naughty, 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 naughty." And so she took care of herself beautifully in that situation. As you know, I don't drink. A couple of people were like, "Oh my God, this was so wonderful today. Let's go drink." And I'm like, "No, thank you. I am very sober, not kind of very." Um, Not really sure what this means. So we'll just bring it up. Mr. Bob Noel. Newell? Newell. I'm probably butchering it. I'm sorry. Why do you talk like that? If you're talking about the broken voice, I can't help it right now. I did a lot of screaming. If you are talking in regards to why I make sound effects, it's kind of in my DNA. If that seems to bother you, I can't help it. This is me and I won't change who I am. So you can take with that as you will, but I love you all. Thank you all for being here. But I'm a jokester. I lived a lot of trauma. Okay. Um, we also had some people where someone had particularly come up to my gorgeous wife, Carrie, and stated that they are recently out of a cult or recently out of the cult. And so then turned around and told someone something totally different, that they're recent, they're here just as supporters, they're never ends, never been in anything like that. And then so I confronted them. So you can't tell my wife one thing and then have tell someone in front of me something different, because that's not, no, 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 no. Here's a question for you guys all. And maybe someone in the chat can answer this for me, because I'll be asking my therapist. Basically, I don't understand why people want to pretend to be us. It makes absolutely no sense to my head. I can't fathom wanting to pretend to grow up in a cult and then tell people you grew up in a cult but not have the background behind it. So if you know someone that's ever done that, what? I don't understand. Don't understand at all. We also had quite a few news reporters, or they were stating they were news reporters. We did not see credentials from any of them. So I'm just letting you guys know, if you're going to wait for a piece in one of those magazines, I'm not guaranteeing anything, because I never saw any press credentials. And I know that if they're going to be there as press, they have to show credentials. So I didn't want to continue talking to some of them, because loose lips sink ships. So the second thing I'm going to talk about today, besides the protest, we had an amazing woman drive by us twice and drop off snacks, and they were sealed. So no, it wasn't laced with anything. They were still sealed, like they specifically went to Costco, got a whole bunch of waters, and then they got a whole bunch of chips and a whole bunch of snacks, and literally wasn't part of this protest, but dropped food and snacks off to the protest, saying that she supported us. I thought that was the most amazing thing that I'd ever seen from a protest. A couple people emailed me about being respectful to the people doing the trees. They are not at fault. There's no fault to them, nor should we criticize them, nor should we blame them or treat them poorly. Primarily because they're putting food on their table and they're just working. That's all they're doing. And so for that, if we need to be louder, then we get louder. But other than that, we be respectful. The cops were a little different. I know people had a really big issue with the cops. They seemed to be pretty nice. As long as we kept people off bullhorns, we weren't going to get arrested. But if anybody did bring up a bullhorn, they were going to be arrested. The fakeness of cutting down the trees and getting bitten by hundreds of, and I mean little green bugs. It was like a tick. I don't know what it was. And if anybody knows, in the comment, they were coming from the trees, and it was literally this green bug that would bite you and leave like a little red welt. And I'm just like, what is this? Like our megaphone, like our plastic megaphone that we could use, not electronic. That was covered in those green bugs. My neck had them. Laura's outfit all got them. Carrie's outfit got covered in them. It was probably the grossest thing that I'd ever seen. And was that done on purpose? Most likely. Most likely that was absolutely done on purpose, cutting down those trees because maybe bugs like that live in those trees. Sorry, guys, I'm going to take a drink of please save my throat. Okay. All right. So, oh, jiggers? Like jiggers, someone email me a picture. Or hold on. That I grew up in a cold, everybody, but I can open another window. Chiggers. Okay. Let's see. CHIGS. Okay, so those are red. These ones were green. I wonder if there's a green one. Oh, well, that's just rude. Well, that's that's just rude. I'm just saying that is just very rude because that hurt. They're little, yeah. They're little bug bites, and it's like I've got spots in my tattoos, spots on my arm, back of my neck's got a couple. Thank God they didn't get my pretty face, probably because my pretty face was getting sunburnt. Um, for it being, what it was, I only suspected like 2 people, but I questioned the reporters. And the reason I'm telling you this is not so that it's like this big joke or this giant conspiracy, because I'm not a conspiracy person. I just know the behavior that they do behind those doors. And I guarantee you I reached someone because a lot of stuff happened. Um, it was interesting. We walked back and forth. We blocked the or the celebrity security entrance, everybody. So they couldn't get in while we had our chance. Um, then we walked back to the main corner. So the restaurant that had stood, nothing like that. No drugging has ever happened in my restaurant. You know, tried to, come out and me mug some of the people there. And then we had a couple of people that are like, saying in French how that restaurant helps cover up for racists. That was beautiful because those girls did not deserve it. They didn't. There was nothing about what has happened to them did they deserve. So why did one of my chants change? Because I know multiple people that have been assaulted inside those walls and they get told you brought this in. You pulled it in. You did this. And then if they're not saying those words, then you have to go into counseling, holding those 2 bloody cans, and you have to sit there in fear and go over what had happened to you. How did the assault take place? What did you smell? Was there anything funny that you tasted? What was your body doing? What was your reaction at the time? And then you're going to keep going over and over that. And no matter if it's 20, 30, 40, 50 times, it doesn't matter. They're going to keep making you go over it. And then at the end, when you've been so twisted and warped in your head, you turn around and you go, maybe this is true. Maybe this did happen. You start believing it. And that's right. Blaming the victim is so twisted. Whoops. Hold on. Trying to put it up. There we go. Blaming the victim is so twisted, Willy Weed. Absolutely. Because realistically, you know, that's what happens behind those walls. It's not the perpetrator's fault. It was the person they attacked doing something to them that made them do that. They pulled it in. Okay, so I did see a couple questions. Let me tag those questions and then we'll go back because again, it was a 3-hour stream, everybody, and I don't want to miss anybody's questions. Okay. Samara, question. Will you and Nora be doing a Dyke-tastic duo again? I love you two together. I love my friend too. Right now, she is taking time for her. She's doing what she needs to do and putting food on her table and doing all the adult stuff that we all have to do, and then we'll figure it out. Um, but yeah, I'm not closing the chapter on the ditastic duo. It's just a mild hiatus to get all the new stuff situated. Our schedules aren't really matching at the moment. So we need to figure out a way to make a match or do a time and release it. I don't know. I like talking to everybody in the chat too. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Mischief. Liz, I'm surprised you can talk at all. You were so amazing yesterday, confident, loud, and strong, showing no fear. There was fear before I took my medications, my anti-anxiety medications, which I made sure I took on Celebrity Center property. Um, my hands were doing the hold on, everybody. "Ah," but it was real. This hand was doing, "Ah," but it was real. My chest felt like my heart was gonna pop out of it at any second. Um, but thank you so very much. I forced my way through it. Okay, Renee B, question. How are you feeling yesterday? I would have been anxious. You are a rock star. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys telling me that I'm a rock star. I appreciate each and every one of you helping me out. I appreciate you guys cheering it on and watching the stream and watching what we were going through, with the trees being down, constantly told to move, the cops acting like we were the villains. You know, it was different. It was very, very different. Okay, next one. Don Shackelford. You have such great common sense about you. Being understanding about the tree guys was beyond cool. Um, Said tons about your integrity. Yeah, because they didn't do anything. They were hired. This isn't like these are Sea Org security guards and they're saying shit to us. No, they're just there to get a job done. And no, it's not their fault. Okay. Peter Anderson question. Did the police cite penal code for the use of the megaphone? No, they just kept telling us that the church is in session. And not to disturb their church services. That's right, everybody. They put up a fake sign saying there were church services there. It looked like they had in the pavilion area near the rose garden. It looked like they were more setting up for a wedding or a fake wedding because there was no roses everywhere or the white cloth. But they were blowing smoke out of their ass. But I don't know if any of you guys saw it on the live. Hopefully you did. There was quite a few um, windows that were open while I was yelling. And it made it beautiful. Miss Sunrise, our word survivor here, victim blaming is horrendous. Absolutely. It's disgusting and despicable. Make sure I didn't miss any other quick questions. Okay. It was awesome to see Aaron popping in and out of everyone's too. Yeah. He cheered us on like a rock star. Joni, Liz, you're not just a rock star, you're a legend. I'm going to say I'm not a legend because I'm still just a person, but I'm definitely doing the best that I can. Okay. All right, quick. Here we have. I'm going to star this one real quick. So then after the event, because I had to cut ties, we had to run to the bathroom. I hadn't run to the bathroom or stopped the whole time. So ran across to what used to be called the Mayfair. And it's still a grocery store. It's like a belt. You know what, everybody, depending on where you're from, like it's Sacramento area, the best way is called the Nugget. It's more of a bougie type of, place to get groceries. Yeah. They'd moved a couple things around. The bakery used to be in a different section, used to look different because I used to go in there when I was a Sea Org member and I would go get a Danish and just enjoy it. So didn't have a chance to get a Danish. Should have looked a little harder, but that's the big thing. I also want to tell you guys, I'm probably going to be posting some pictures. Now, the pictures I'm going to post is because the hotel that I was staying at was very close to what's called the Wilcox. Now, if any of you guys have ever heard the Wilcox, that is the berthing for Celebrity Center, or it used to be the berthing where everybody slept at Celebrity Center. But the truth of the matter is, they have sold the building. They now live directly across the street, which I tried to show you guys on the live if you were able to catch it. And so went into the Wilcox. I told the manager politely, look, I lived here. I would like to see my room. Is there any possible way that I can see my room? And she's like, unfortunately, we're booked solid. Maybe next time you come down, come talk to me. Deal. Deal. I am filming. I'm going to send you some pictures of how it looks amazing now. Is Miss Amy in the chat? Oh. Yes, it is. It is Amy Scobie. Yeah, it's what we're streaming. But I'm gonna post a couple of pictures that way you can comment on it. There we go. Hi. So I still have a voice left, everybody. I still have a voice left. I am home. I also did get a package while I was gone. That's right, Bulbasaur. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I'm going to add it to my other collection up there, and it's going to sit there and be beautiful. I also got interviewed. I got, okay. So we're going to throw this one up real quick. Congratulations on making your voice heard. So did you, Amy, I know you watched a lot of them. I don't know if you watched all 3 hours or rotated. Did you like the view of the course rooms that I was showing everybody when we went around to the front? We had I don't know if you could see, but there was quite a few windows that were open and people were listening. So that's the fantastic news. Someone on one of those floors was listening and they could not help but hear, what dynamic are you ignoring today? Rice and beans are not a meal. Let's not forget, assault is not something you pulled in. You can be free. $40 is not legal per week. Hold on. Almost 2,000 subscribers. I don't think I am, guys. Maybe because last I looked, it was like 19 something, and I got so many subscribers from the rally. So thank you all so very much. Speaking of subscribers, please don't forget to smash the like, hit the subscribe. The bigger that the more audience I can reach, the more the chances are they're going to hand me my dad. We're going to take a small twist off of that one right there. Oh, Juliana. Hold on, everybody. Ooh, but we're going to take a script off. My dad's birthday is November 23rd. I know you guys all just help me get down. If any of you guys ever have a chance or just want to donate $1, $2, $3, I'm going back down to Gold Base near his birthday. I'm deciding to do that. I'm asking anyone to help get me down there and join me in a present for my dad that I haven't seen in 20 years. Thinking of all the things that I do know that he likes, get him a couple of pocket protectors, get him some shirts, getting some clothes because they don't get all of that toiletries. I'll even send his favorite cigarettes because there's no way that man quit. But it is something that I'm planning on going back to do. And yes, I will make sure everything is filmed. Um, I will tell you that, you know, I haven't uploaded all of the body cam, but I will be. Woo, woo, everybody. And somehow I'm thinking of, and everybody was kung fu fighting. Yeah. No, I can't sing. I leave that to Lara. So, but we also have quite a few people that are going to be there. Hi, Denver. Nice to see you. Miranda, nice to see you. Here's the thing. And we're going to go back to this question. Will he actually get this gift? They're going to go through it. They'll search it. Now, if I write a letter, there's most likely a chance that he's not going to get it. And this is where it's a little twisted. But if I give him what he needs and it's nothing about anti-Scientology propaganda or nothing about, whatever's going on, then yes, they will share the wealth and let him know that he received a package. Because I've seen it done. I've seen people go through their boxes and they get the stuff inside. Everything else was taken out. That's just a part of what they do in there. It's glorious. That's why I don't think he's received not one of my letters. And that's unfortunate because I spent a lot of money on sending letters. They all got signature signed for. But no response, anybody. No response. Okay. The comment, just a comment. Standing tall, helping others, and confronting them is powerful and healing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because here's the thing, people. And I'll say this from the depths of my soul. Sorry. Yeah, I'm doing tea and lemon. I am. I've got my tea and lemon. But oh, I love that. So it's I'm probably going to be taking a rest. Yes, to everybody. There's some things I want to get out. My voice is already shot, so what's one more day? But if I send him a letter, he's not responding. A gift is different because I've seen people in decks receive gifts, but not the letters that they were sent inside. And I guarantee you, even though I have the signatures that the letter was received, they're not giving it to him. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna make a scene. We're gonna have a drink so that my throat can calm down. But that's the plan, is going back and doing it that way, doing it the right way. Because as anybody that watched, it's all about the right way. They're saying we're not human when they're saying we're SPs. Well, if we can show them that we are human, I'm not going to alienate a police officer. I'm not going to get myself arrested, nor am I going to let someone be arrested. I can't help it if they're already arrested. I can't control something I didn't see. But at the same time, it's also amazing to see that we can show them compassion. I can't show compassion when it's people telling my wife that they just got out and then turning around and telling someone else they're a never in. That's, for me, that's just someone boasting and trying to pretend there's something they're not. And trust me, buddy, you don't want our lives. You definitely don't want this life of growing up, because when I went to the Wilcox, I got to tell the manager, this used to be Scientology birthing, and she was so nice about it. She let, you know, um, she managed to okay us all going up there, having a beautiful dinner. Serge was there. He got to try some new things. Um, and so it was Serge, Vanessa, my love, and myself. Um, right, having dinner, having sitting there, having a good family outing, and it was beautiful. Um, it was definitely beautiful. Um, I Serge is a good buddy of mine. I also made sure that he could get his comics. I got the picture of all the comics that he got, and he picked each and every one. And I can't wait to hear the stories on each of the storylines behind those comics. Because he may not be by blood, but he's my brother. And Vanessa LaRose from the Gray Zone, she is my sister. She's been through a lot with me. All right, so let's hit up these two. Okay. Okay, Renee B, just a comment. Standing tall, helping others, confronting them is powerful and healing. When I first went, everybody, I was nervous. The more I yelled, the more I said things, like, what dynamic are you ignoring today? Um, the more I realized it was so beautiful, because I'm not trying to come at them with anger. I'm not trying to come at them with hatred, because that's not going to let them know that it's peaceful outside. They need to know that it is peaceful, and some of the things that they're going through are illegal. They're very much illegal. You know, having a child as a therapist, illegal. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's illegal. Okay. No talk, Tony. Comment. Uh, no, yeah, here we go. Comments. Tuck a letter into the gift, but be sure they won't find it. I'm gonna think of something, even if I have to get him a T-shirt, and then that T-shirt's gonna be like, "My name is Liz Ferris. I love my father, Bob Ferris." It's gonna be something, so silly they don't even think that it's that. And maybe I'll send him a, Save Bob Ferris mug. And that way he can have his cup of coffee and it says his name on it and he won't even really know. But hopefully that gives him a hint that he has a family outside, that he has friends outside, he has siblings, he has nieces, he has nephews. And so do other people in there. So do other people. And there are some people that I talk to that are on the verge of losing their children because they don't believe anymore. Like, being threatened daily that if they do not get back on the bridge, they're going to lose their child. It's the most disgusting thing I think any of you guys have heard in a couple days. So realistically, let's see if I can go back. I'm sure I missed things. Summer Savage, thank you so much for being here. Becca, Rock Out with Kim D. Paula, nice to see you. Becca is, hey, how's it going? The bird whistle. I whistle like this because that is how my father taught me to whistle. But Laura, man, I thought I had a good whistle when it comes to New York, but she definitely outdid me. She definitely outdid me. Question. Were you told negative things about, I know which word you're using there. If so, what were they? The question that she's asking is WOGs. Okay. And what that means is, for everybody that is not a Scientologist, you're a WOG, you're less than. And I was terrified that I that I was gonna go be with people that didn't, it's basically like that situation where everybody on the outside is Fred Flintstone, just not quite all there in the intelligence bracket. And they were evil and vile, and that they were uneducated. And, you know, for me, it's just one of those things. They're not uneducated. They're not. It's like Harry Potter, the wizarding world versus the regular world. It's just fear. That's all it is. It's fear that someone on the outside is gonna tell someone on the inside what life is really like. So they put the fear of you ever being able to talk to someone, fear of believing a single word that comes out of their mouths, because again, they lie. They sit there and they tell you that they're not holding a gun, even though they're holding a gun to you. It's horrible. But then it's like, I am so sorry, everybody. I really am. It's just evil how they separate people and then they sit there and pretend like they're the good ones. Stacy Toms, long time. Comment, I really all hope you all convinced at least one person to leave. My fingers are crossed. Mine are too, and my toes. And my toes, because realistically, it's all about getting one out. We get one, then we start working on the next one until we get to 6, and then you know what? We start over. Okay. I love the fading in and out. It's so sexy, everybody. This is when I should like, this is where you wanna sing and on not even on Alanis, you wanna sing, uh, Melissa Etheridge. We'll just salute to the Melissa Etheridge where she's like, you know hold on. No, I don't think I could do it because it's come to my nope, nope. I'm not gonna sing that song. Nope. Maybe I'll practice it and do it another day or another time. But I'm not trying to shoo you all off because I can't do very much right now. But does anybody have any questions in regards to things they saw on um, the lives? And please you can ask them the best that you can. Hey, Brian, or Poet, as I like to call you. How you doing, Poet? Okay, I'm not seeing. Um, Hi, Terry. How are you? Oh, did I miss one? Oh, I'm gonna be really mad if I miss one. Okay, I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, it started off being extremely scary. It started off, where I was walking up to a crowd of about 20 people, and I was a little nervous when the first thing they say is the security for the second gens is being arrested. And that kind of it didn't tickle my fancy, everybody. Um, but we all made it through. Um, hey, Apostate Alex, nice to see you. Laura, speaking of Laura, everybody, we're going to pull this one up. Laura, Laura decides that she's not going to charge her phone. She's going to sit there and I'm going to keep calling, make sure she's safe. And it's going straight to voicemail, straight to voicemail, straight to voicemail, straight to voicemail. This woman tried to give me a heart attack. She then tells someone that she's going to stay at Cece until the sun comes up. I'm thinking, oh my God, this woman's arrested. I text her, nothing. A few of us text her, nothing. This woman is having a good time celebrating how amazing she did and we did. And she's still right across the street from Celebrity Center doing it. So it was the bad Laura. Bad Laura, make sure you charge your phone. You're going to make us think that you were arrested or kidnapped. Okay. Laura, so how are you feeling mentally beforehand? Before and after? Before I was nervous because as you are aware, they tell you the most ridiculous things when you're the one going like you're the one on the other side sitting as a kid and there's protesters or you're even an adult like no, let's not even call our 17, 18-year-old selves adults cuz let's be real, we weren't adults. Um, that is terrified that these people hated us for no good reason. They just hated to hate. And then all of a sudden it's like, um, I'm now on the other side. I am now on the completely other side. They didn't hate us to begin with. I don't know why that feels so much better for a little bit, everybody. But they didn't even hate us. It made me realize that as a kid, those people didn't hate us. They just knew what was really going on behind those doors and they wanted to save us. But we were all so terrified. Can you talk to Lara today? Lara, are you still in the chat? Okay. Lara, go to your messenger. I'm going to send you something right now. And don't say you can't because I know you can. If you're going to be in the chat, let's do this. Okay. It's been sent, Laura. Becca, so who was arrested? The supposedly our security was arrested, but it was really it wasn't. It was like a fake arrest. They took him around the block and then they released him back. And then he watched those of us that needed more of the protection. Okay. But he didn't end up being arrested, but that's just how it is. Come on, Laura. We need you, Laura. Hold on, everybody. We're going to do this the old fashioned way. Okay, where are you, Laura? Uh, all right. So we're going to have this temporarily on while we're waiting for Miss Lara. She probably got to grab some goldenrod. She might still be wearing a goldenrod color. Did you see his wrists? Were they cuffed? Yes, they were cuffed in behind him. He was being like held against a police car with his hands cuffed behind him. So yes, I've seen someone arrested, and that's, you know, oh, that's right, Lara. One sec. Oh, you're in trouble now. Oh, I think we might have a full house. Hold on, hold on. We might have a big treat for you guys. I hope you guys are all still here and ready because we just had someone else say that they wanted to be into. Okay. Invitations are sent, everybody. This is going to be epic. Epic, I tell you, epic. Hold on, everybody. I got to fix this. This is driving me nuts. It's my little cushion behind my back, but it keeps falling because we can't have life without talking about some. We're all just having technical difficulties today. My voice doesn't want to be in the building. All right. So let's just talk for a little bit. I sent those few off. You guys are definitely getting a treat. Um, so if anybody has questions, the reason that we're choosing next month to go down, it's going to be the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. So that way we're hitting the most amount of time, and I'm going to try everything that I can to see him for his birthday. I know people are telling me to rest up. It is totally okay because I want to give you an update of what's going on. We also have some guests that are getting ready to join us. Um, it is, oh, I know, Amanda, don't overdo your poor voice. I have done all of the tea and the lemon that I can do. Plus, all of a sudden, I then got some lozenges that help a lot, but they don't taste so good. So it's definitely one of those things. Okay, Mena, didn't realize you were live. It's late o'clock and need to sleep. We'll just say that quietly. Blanking excellent. Oh no, I can say it now. Fucking excellent protest. Woohoo. I'll join the replay crew. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're gonna want to watch the replay because we got something special coming up in about 4 minutes. Because in 4 minutes we will have everything all set. Let's see. I'm sure this is about you and your dad. He wouldn't care if you had a voice. Yeah, that's right. He wouldn't care if I had a voice. And if he gets to even watch these, why do I do them all the time? The reason I do them like this is because realistically, I have to keep making noise. I have to keep you guys here. I have to keep you guys where you're actually listening to stay away from Scientology. The bigger noise that I make, the bigger chances they're just going to kick him out. And yeah, I need that. I need my dad by his birthday. I'd be flabbergasted if they handed him to me on his birthday. We would go and do whatever we can. That's right. You have to make noise. You have to make noise, even if you have a voice or not. You have to make noise. I still have a voice. Hopefully, you guys can all understand me, but it's just a little bit raspier than it normally is. Okay. Jamie Palmer, Liz, off topic, but my dad did that to me when I was sick. I sorry. I asked him to get me some good cough drops and he came home with these cough syrup. Right? Right. Like I wish that they would bring back the bubblegum flavor cough syrup. Like the soothing cough syrup would be so nice. All right. So I'm being told that you can still hear me. Being told someone's going to join in just a second. Um, let's see. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. I think I might have sent it to the wrong spot. Let me do this. And then we're gonna email. Okay. Okay. One's almost ready. Okay. Hey, hey, we did it, everybody. We did it. Okay. So now we have one person on. Okay. All right. Okay. Everybody's got it. Yep. Everybody's got it. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can do this. I know we can do this because they are ready. They are ready to join. Okay. 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 All right. And okay. Okay. Hold on, everybody. We got this one. Okay. I apologize, everybody. It is all coming up, and we're just making sure that we have everything set. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. Sorry about that. Everything is all set. I apologize. Okay. Oh. You want to raise your thumb when you're ready? Good. All right. First guest.
1 second, 1 second.
Okay. Just kidding. Just kidding. Um, so let me see if I missed anything because I know. Okay. We have Alex in the chat. We have Amy in the chat. Rebecca. Okay. And then as soon as, oh, he's just setting everything up. Well, you know who one of those guests are. And here we go. Hi.
Hello.
And that is an entrance.
hmm
So how did you like the event? What, with everything that I explained, what would you say was your experience?
My experience was that I was shocked that this was the first time that I had ever actually been in part of a protest for everything that happened to us. That was almost as a shock to be on the flip side and to understand how many years has it taken us to go to the sidewalk of one of these hotels. Like decades of fear, decades of feeling that we were not worthy to have our own voices and to be heard, and that we were not worthy of having any problems or even everything that you were saying, Liz, like, $40 is not a wage. It's just unthinkable. And it's like, doesn't matter how many corrupt attorneys you can gather to write a crooked contract where the end user is going to be completely screwed over. And it's like, why are those contracts still a thing? How can that be so okay with everybody? That
Yeah.
people are being put into these things. And as you know, like, it's just so many layers of deception, and it's corruption on corruption on corruption. I mean, as if the beginning of our protest was not already utterly corrupted by those LAPD people that did take it upon themselves to come and arrest our one security guard. It's like, it's very rich of these people that took us inside those hotels when we were minors, unable to consent to what they were pitching. You guys, it's very simple. This is not a complicated, let's all think about it for a million years to make sure we get it right. Children can consent, and it just doesn't get any more simple than that. So, those are some immediate thoughts.
Okay. She, someone just said here. Okay. All right, you talk real quick if you can explain some of the interviews that you had. I'm gonna reach out to someone.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I had an interview with Kendra Blanco, and Kendra Blanco was another one of these kids that grew up right across of this hotel. Kendra's mom was not a wealthy woman, and she ended up sacrificing everything she had to that disgusting Celebrity Center hotel, and including Kendra because she was signed up to be part of the Sea Org. You guys, Kendra Blanco. So what is going on in front of Celebrity Center, and the reason that Celebrity Center is one of the major, most prominent building where the trafficking gets done, where the celebrities are lured. They're literally lured and told, oh yeah, come over here. We're really going to help you with your career. It's really in your benefit. Let's see what we can help you in. And all these celebrities have been honeycombed into the hotels, you guys. These people do help them in their careers. It's not like, oh, nobody helped. No. Once any celebrity is coming inside of that hotel, they are now gaining access to Elizabeth Moss's people, and Johnny Ravisi's people, and Tom Cruise's people, and whoever else is in that orbit. They're seeing how they can help and how they can, like, so there's all manner of bad actors involved in this scheme. And unfortunately, the fact that the whole scheme is run on the back of child slaves and the elderly, the very two groups that need the advocacy because they cannot speak for themselves.
No.
Once they become so elderly, they literally do not have the intellectual capacity to escape. And we've seen that with Mike Brown's mother, who literally had to be lasered, rescued, Operation Military Hostage, as if that's not already being done with Bob Ferris right now.
Right.
Never mind that, unfortunately, the type of place he's in, there's literally no way in, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
not like if we went to Gold and we screamed and we did all the things because there's the birthing. So where we would be able to go, you have the front gate and then you have the birthing And then you have the birthing across the street. Main buildings are a good 100, 200 yards away. So you're talking about massive, loud voices to be able to get to those people.
Mhm.
Because I'm going to guess it's like 200 yards. I didn't have my glasses with me that day.
Well, and I mean, again, we are having to be, we can't get people out of those hotels necessarily. We're showing up there to make our cases heard. And one of the things that you just asked me is about interviewing and talking to other people. And especially on the heels of what the LAPD showed us, with full zero shame, you guys. The LAPD showed their hand fully, as if we already don't know that it's on the full record that the human trafficking lieutenant commander of the LAPD is besties with Marisol Nichols, an actress that was literally inside of those hotels for decades. Since the early 90s, Miss Nichols has been going inside of those hotels, getting helped by child slaves, helping on the recruitment, on the procurement of all of that. And you have like a very corrupt LAPD that we are like wondering what in the literal hell could be really going on with this LAPD to like literally not even care, to show up without even a care in the world, to give us back our security with scratches all over his hands, like they went even hard on him, as if that's going to intimidate. You know, it's all that's telling us is we better start hiring other LAPD people to then protect us, because we're scared of them. If they're willing to go that hard over something for those. Oh, Laura, you're having feedback. If they're willing to go so hard over something that like corrupt in front of our eyes, then what? What are we really dealing with? What kind of justice are we expecting be done if the enablers of the predators are in on it? Because that's what it's called. That's what corruption is called, being in on it. So
Yeah.
If I come in, I don't want it to feedback. Everything else is closed out?
Yep.
Cool.
Oh. Let me.
Here, I'm just on my mic. 1 second. Okay. Can you guys hear me better now? Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hi, guys. And yes, I've been listening the whole time. And then I was like, Liz is exhausted, faded, and her voice is shot.
Just a skosh. Like,
and I'm just chilling on my bed, like, what else do I need to clean today?
I know everybody's like, what are we gonna do today? Vaboop or Vanessa did her live this morning. Yep, and I'm like, how does she get lucky and still get to keep her voice? And I'm the one that sounds like, you know, Alana Moore. I sound like, oh God, what is that singer? The Come to My Window.
Yeah, I heard you earlier.
Melissa Etheridge.
Melissa Etheridge. Come to my window. Yeah. So, but what I was gonna say is, I came here really just to be supportive and talk about everything as well, like the arrest with Brian, who's an ex-LAPD member. And I even look, I have them saved in my phone. I mean, I'm sure we all have the pictures now, and it was all on film. But me walking up even to that, it gave me this like, oh, they're doing that. I knew it right away what was going on. And then I was like, Brian's got this. He's not an idiot. He knows, those are his brothers. Those are his brothers. They're being lied to by a very strong manipulative organization, telling them that he's swinging his gun around. He's like, no, I have a licensed firearm and I have it here for protective reasons. Correct. So anyways, that was really good to be able to see that walking up and then going right to the police and being like, oh, thank you for being here, protecting and serving. Bye-bye when you got to go. Like, because the real thing is the destruction of Scientology, trying to destroy the safety net that people do have. That's the only safety we need, is just protection when we're doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us, actually all of us do. I can be strong and say I don't need it, but that's not true. I love when Tommy Scope, all these people are there that are stronger physical men that can say, no, you can't touch her. You don't do that. The law says this. So having our back with somebody, and then having
you did really
Scientology
well with
corrupt
that guy
that.
that touched your sign this time.
Oh,
though.
I literally was like,
you literally imposed that boundary so quick. I was so proud of you. Like it, compared to what that other guy was able to get away with. And it's crazy that, they're sending them to you if you really, or you engage them moreover.
well, the
but
first time I also felt triggered. Like I did feel like my heart did go, like I was like, what the fuck? Like, so my immediate reaction feeling wise to that guy was to immediately yell and be like, don't fucking touch me. Like an abuser. And then I immediately caught myself doing that. I'm like, you can't. So during this one, I was like, it was just so obvious. You touched my sign. Like, not, And I even saw it in his eyes, like, oh no. And I said, you are hired by Scientology. And you don't even know that you're not allowed to do that. You can get arrested. And the moment I said, I can get you arrested right now, he ran off. So that was really, like, talk about Scientology trying to take the one safety net that we do happen to maybe need here or there.
Just a skosh.
Let's just try to get rid of that. Which, by the way, that he was back up there with us 30 minutes later with handcuff freaking bleeding marks on the sides, because the officers were rough with him, and because when they do get a report like that, and I'm sure Scientology wasn't, not over exaggerating about it. They were very much over exaggerating and probably said some insane stuff that wasn't even happening. But either way, they're doing their job and they had to do that. He is an ex LAPD. They don't know that. They did later. So that was really horrible. But I'm so proud of Brian for being there and protecting us and for giving us that net and taking the shot, being like, I've got this. All right, boom, boom. And then being back out. That felt really good. And for us to just be like, again, losing our voices. It's like, this isn't just the protest. This is us healing ourselves, because currently in this world, there is no greater therapy than to protect ourselves and to give ourselves back that strength that was stolen from us our whole childhood with no repercussions. Like nobody, they don't even say sorry. Like, this is how horrible Scientology as an organization and as a machine is. They don't have the bones. They don't have any bones, but they don't have the bones to even understand the apology or to be able to get. So it's really good for us, I feel, as the children that were against all in this and against all of this weight all of the time, to be lifting it off and throwing it off with joy and anger and whatever emotions we're having at that time. So the arrest thing and everything. And then remember this guy who came by, he's running for Burbank mayor.
No, he is Burbank mayor and he's running again.
Yeah. So and it was just like, okay, here you have a situation where the police and our current, system kind of did a full circle with all of us in our own eyes just during the whole thing, the police getting called by a false report from Scientology, then the police officers arresting somebody that used to be on their own thing. We used to be in the Sea Org doing the ethics interrogations and everything inside, controlling people. Oh, we'll make the phone call. Oh, we'll get hit by a picketer. They also used to call us picketers. So we have our own. A lot of people aren't aware of this, even though they know there are community now and everything. A lot of people aren't aware of the constant PTSD kicking in every step. We're breathing.
That we're aggressors, but we're advocates. We're there.
I sound aggressive, but I'm absolutely not.
Be advocates, and we need to start calling on the LAPD, who has to, by now, after decades and decades and decades of dealing with these people, they need to start sharpening their brains, literally. Like, if you're getting those type of calls from Scientology, we're going to continue to show up to these protests. They're only going to get more and more. They're going to be happening also in Clearwater. And again, we are protesting, advocating for those inside of the hotels that have not a shred of a clue what in the hell's being done to them and have no way out. So when Scientology starts releasing all 21 and unders, which is our very first demand, 21 and under cannot consent to what is done and pitched in the hotels. Period. Full stop. This isn't up for debate. This isn't up for like, oh, let's let it. Extreme role plays minors cannot consent to. Those role plays that get done in those hotels, Scientology Celebrity Center, are unacceptable beyond. And we all had audits ourselves as kids. We know how disgusting it was, how unhinged they were. And again, just because your parents said you really should do it does not mean anything. It doesn't mean anything other than that kid has no advocate. Once your parent puts you in literally harm's way, you've lost your last sort of possible protection. And once they're having their way with you inside of that hotel room, you are literally being abused ad nauseum. Having not a shred of boundary as a child is unacceptable. And the fact that the LAPD apparently is not up to speed that any of these practices go on in those hotels. Apparently, the LAPD has not taken up on themselves to open up a book and go, oh, they say they lock you against your will. Is the auditor's code the line here where it says no one can leave the room on their own determinism? So there's a lot of corruption going on with the LAPD, and you know, it shows us that we need to protect ourselves more, because apparently it's not just Scientology that is corrupt. Apparently enablers of these people are also in on the corruption.
Yeah, I want to add to the oh shit, you were just saying something about the kids and being auditing. So I was gonna say, there's like, I'm starting to see, I just started noticing myself thinking this or seeing this. Every single policy letter that or whatever, anything that L. Ron Hubbard has ever written contradicts itself. Like, children are in small bodies, but yet we could get spanked because we were acting like children. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so things like that. And like, yet, you know, you can't report anything to the law, get it all off in session. This is a private confidential thing, but yet if you ever leave us, it's no longer private confidential thing. We're going to give out all your information. Completely illegal. Like recording everything, doing all that. Like, there's so many things that I would say almost all of L. Ron Hubbard's policies of how to dismantle or how to operate are completely illegal, whether it has to do with how children are to behave and act and be, or how the abuser, the auditor, the interrogate is to treat and act the child. Or so either way, it's just, yeah. I was just thinking about that. Like, I'm starting to see that like keeping Scientology. How are you going to clear a planet for real? Scientology people out there. How the goal of Scientology, of the Sea Org, is to clear the planet, right? Before, you know, that's why we signed these billion-year contracts.
Because we can save the world.
50% of the world right now already cannot be cleared because they're either on psych medication or they're mentally ill. And Scientology can't help the mentally ill. They're not here to do that. You can't clear that. So, and then the other thing is, I would even say 75% of the world, maybe that's horrible, but are on some kind of medication, marijuana, drug, something that you can't get auditing.
The point here is, again, going back to this clearing the planet. You cannot be purporting to be helping somebody if you're dehumanizing them. There is just no logical explanation for that level of dehumanization that we have seen. And exposing kids to being dehumanized is just unthinkable. And this is happening. It's happening right now. It was happening as we were talking outside of those hotels, as we were protesting. How many kids were being exposed to, oh yeah, let's make you an auditor, as if we don't have current receipts right now from Reese that's exposing everything that's been spoken about in that Facebook group of moms of Scientology, telling us how they are taking their 7-year-olds in session today. Again, and going back to your point, Laura, it's like the power dynamic imbalance is so indefensible. No one can make a case that the power dynamic inside of sessions is acceptable between an adult and a child. No one can make that case. All the L. Ron Hubbard memos were being used, like to your point, Laura, everything contradicts itself, but yet everything officiates itself, because as long as you're really following every single line of the thing, then you really should be protected. And again, it's like, in what world is following the rhetoric of a convicted felon going to be protecting you from not breaking the law? Because we would really like to understand that from all of the Scientology attorneys, that they can really start typing some memos that make sense to explain why these practices are being literally perpetrated on minors that do not have the level of consent to what's going to be made of them once they are literally grabbed by these people that completed a 2-week course. And again, that's dangerous. Like, the people that were dealing with us, they had not a clue what in the hell they were doing, because no one that does a 2-week course gets that level of access to a human, period. There's just no example where, oh yeah, 2 weeks and then have at
You're
it.
a therapist. Congratulations.
But not no, they definitely don't call it a therapist. But yeah, I know what you mean, Liz. But also, the whole thing about the whole lie of even like gold base and the executive strata of Scientology even being a respectful hierarchy for the lower people who don't know stuff or whatever to look up to. And you go to gold and it's like a fucking extreme jail, like under, you know, so
like the way they live, the way
you literally would find kids building e-meters in 1990. You would have been seeing children at gold base, crews of them soldering the e-meters.
And that's why, you know, the LAPD is being called upon to be like, explain child trafficking to us then. If that wasn't, if being there as a minor, being made to build e-meters for these people to interrogate people at hotels, if that is not child trafficking, then what in the literal hell are y'all calling child trafficking? Because nothing is adding up whatsoever. And that's when we know we're being lied to, we're being manipulated. We're being told that, yes, the LAPD can do this, the LAPD can do that, the LAPD is going to, oh yeah, really don't use a microphone because that's really, really very bad to do because they are a church. Did you miss the part where they locked us up inside of those rooms against our wills as children and were made to build e-meters? Did you all miss that part? Because again, it's like they're telling us that we can't use a microphone, as if we know they're doing this to children right now. We're not just showing up. I mean, I told several protesters, Laura, if there were no children in there, I wouldn't ever speak of the subject again. It's so stupid. It's so ridiculous. It's such an insult to our intelligence. Like, nothing made sense. It's all pathetic. It's all just pathetic lies, clownery from hell. And whoever wants to defend it and really say L. Ron Hubbard was a genius, then go look in the mirror and pitch that to yourself again.
Yeah, because who's going to really sit there and say this man's a genius when a child is assaulted, a woman's assaulted, and then guess what? They have to go over the assault over and over and over and over. And then it's not the person that assaulted her's fault. It's her fault because she pulled it in. She did something to pull this in. She was out of ethics somehow. And because of this, it forced that person to do that. Who grows up like that?
Well, you know, disgusting, psychopathic, entitled narcissist that studied L. Ron Hubbard and gave themselves entitlement to do whatever in the hell they felt like doing, as long as it was written somehow in those memos. All the behavior was those memos ad nauseum. Are you following the reference? Are you following this? Are you really doing that? And you know, that helps these people because at least they can be like, well, it wasn't my disgusting idea. Never mind, they implemented the idea. So at what point can we start divorcing people from their actions that they did for 40 years? Like, I'm sorry, like you followed L. Ron Hubbard to the letter for 40 years. You have a problem. I'm sorry, like you were turned into an L. Ron Hubbard and you were an adult You consented, you full knowing did this, and then you watched all the kids be there, and then you're still crickets about having abused ever a child, or like you said, Laura, going and saying, I'm sorry, I did this to children. Like, that's what y'all should be apologizing for. Literally,
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry I did this to kids. Other
And if
adults
you and
consented.
maybe here's something I would even add to that. Maybe they can't even can't apologize. Maybe they don't see that they did it.
Well, apologies are also
Start by
fruitless, because
accepting what you did.
show us the money, like they used to tell to us. Show us the ethics change in the physical universe.
Right.
How are you guys
Actions.
actually showing us that you did find out you did something wrong, that you can take accountability, that this moment in time in 2023 calls for accountability from all Scientology parents as a collective. Were you in Scientology? Are you out of Scientology? Were you, exposing your kids to Scientology? You're all in the same bucket. Doesn't matter. Oh, but I only did it for 3 years. I did expose my kid this much. Well, you know what? If you expose your kid at all, consider yourself part of that bucket. You're all in the same place. You put Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard's disgusting ideas onto your kids. You cannot defend it. You used each other to pretend it was normal. You normalized it as a collective. That's why this worked. That's why these hotels are still operating, because, apparently all the parents inside of those hotels today still see nothing wrong at all. Not one red flag is in those hotels, is what we're being told. Everything is done so standardly that nothing raises a red flag. Well, the fact that everything is done so standardly is what raises the MF red flag, you guys, because
Like, to me, I'm like, how does the police officer? I really was thinking this when I was talking to them and just saying, look, you guys are wasting your time. I was thinking, how does a police officer, like, come on, who is the supervisor of this freaking squad, right? And who's not smart enough to go, okay, yes, this could be a false report. Like, especially from Scientology, by this person that they could have looked up right away, because Scientology already knows who Brian is. They've already spoken to his security guards at the last protest. So it's really intentional. And I just feel like the police officers need to sharpen their brains there. That's where it's like, come on, like, your job is your job, but your job is also 100% common sense. And if somebody's doing that, why are you slamming somebody handcuffed? Like, and where's the ticket back to the science? Like, you know what I mean? There's just so much, like, in our own ethics and justice system, Scientology is not being put in check in any single way. Yet we show up to protest and we're put in check in fucking 2 seconds by a false report from Scientology.
Yeah, all they
It's
had to
really
do,
triggering.
being realistic, there's thousands of cameras around Celebrity Center. You all saw them, okay? Thousands. Yet you're going to tell me that this man could easily be arrested just because they said he was waving a gun, but with all your cameras, you didn't catch anything ridiculous like that, and you still took their word for it? Like, what happened?
But on the other hand, where Scientology gives the footage easily to anything they need on any other investigation not having to do with Scientology.
Yeah.
But they couldn't say, why couldn't the police officer say, hey, you've helped us with your great cameras before. Let's just see what he was doing. Like, aren't you a police officer? Don't you investigate? Are you really putting it up to the ex-investigators of Sea Org Scientology children to kind of put your sense into check? Like, who?
yeah,
I can understand that, Brig. I just don't understand how so many people, money talks, and I get it, money talks, but at the same time, how long are they going to get away with this? How many more people do we need to scream this to? Because, I'm going to keep screaming.
Well, and money talks, and guys, again, truth corroborates itself. This random drive-by by this guy that's running for mayor in Burbank sees that there's a protest there, stops to see what's going on, and understands that he's the only one that's not taking money in California. These people are giving money to run their hotel. That's why we keep calling this what it is: state-sponsored child trafficking of minors at scale, happening in California, aided and abetted by the LAPD, by those people that are accepting those paychecks and turning a blind eye. At this point, is a willful blind eye that they are turning, because they've had decades of incidents of runaway kids, of people that they found in extremely compromising situations. And there's not a single criminal investigation into these people except for Danny Masterson. And we know how those women have been treated.
And how long it took, and how difficult it was just to get that done. And it's still, there's other lawsuits connected just to that, because that's how hard they make it to. Anyways, sorry.
Well,
Go ahead.
corruption, guys, like this is how corruption is bred. You need an environment this corrupt to run this level of unhinged criminal conspiracy operations of this level. Because we are here, 3 kids from 3 different states, from different countries, all 3 of us from different countries that have nothing in common. Our lineage not in common. Our parents should have never met. Nothing. The only thing in common we have is we were trafficked inside of those disgusting hotels. And they gave us a front row seat to something we couldn't consent to something we had not a shred of a clue what these people really had in mind when they were pitching us. Sign your billion-year contract. You're really going to love it. You really are special. You really do qualify to be here because you're so special. We really have looked at all these qualifications, and, you know, we couldn't have been more gullible when they were pitching us this stuff. And the fact that our parents were so about it completely, again, eroded any shred of possibility for us to understand what was actually going to be taking place. So I really have to, you know, we're questioning all these things that don't make sense, and all of these connections and all of these people that in this year 2023, there's only one word for it, guys. It's like they're playing dumb.
Yeah.
And, you know, we see straight through it. You want to play dumb? Okay, play dumb. You know, playing dumb is allowed. Playing dumb is not illegal until you really have to start explaining yourselves, because, you know, court cases are continuing to pile against
as long as
every
they keep
one of these
piling.
people that want to not have a court cases go on. You know, it's like Valerie Haney went through her arbitration. She sat through whatever in the hell they put her through. So now she's out of that. And now let's really see what in the hell these people were doing. You know, let's just wait for the courts to tell us what happened in that process to see if a child that signed a billion-year contract that was forced to arbitrate against her best interest, never mind that she had complete arrested development while Scientology kept her completely away from any normal culture outside of those hotels. So, but apparently the court wants to blind itself with a pen, poke their eyes out, have them bleed, and tell a child that they're responsible for having signed a binding contract at the age that they signed those contracts, and that all subsequent contracts were so valid and so enforceable. I mean, it's like the law could not just be to enforce whatever in the hell is in the best interest of Scientology. I mean, in what world are we living, guys? Like, how is everything on their favor? Why?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And the law is common sense. The law is not weird shit that doesn't make any sense. When stuff is starting to be pitched as very weird, and we had a lot of contracts and we really have a lot of corporations going on, that is just hogwash. And it's BS law practiced by BS attorneys that don't give a shred of an F. As long as they get paid, they're okay. But you know what? It's like
money.
even attorneys have ethical standards that they have to be upholding. And where are those agencies to make sure that these attorneys are not just lying through their teeth to the detriment of all those kids being trafficked inside these hotels?
Yep, but I do like what Amy says. It's all about the money. That's why.
And child services and all the other state legal representatives that are in positions to have authority to just walk in there anytime.
Yeah, check everybody's passport. Check their ID.
Check
If
my
they're
mother's health. When did she last go to? And now we're talking about elderly, but you know, there's so many things. There's, like I said, about even the cop, the investigator, or the police officers coming to arrest Brian with this false report. Do the investigation. It's like
yeah.
you're gonna see some red flags pretty quickly. It will get
Yeah.
you on a journey of investigating, journalists. Stop wasting our fucking time. Like, obviously, we're gonna do what we're doing, but like us having to explain everything, do the research and go find out yourself, and watch the other channels and things of people who are telling all their kinds of stories and see it in a view of the law. See it in the view of is this human trafficking? Am
Yeah.
I rejecting the fact that Scientology is human trafficking? Like, that's what we have to really, you have to start looking at things that you're literally saying that's not happening. So once you start seeing one of those, you'll see there's a ripple effect, and then you're not going to want to be a part of this. So just go look at the stuff, go investigate the things that you don't think are happening.
Well, and even to the point of the law is human trafficking is coercion and fraud. So in what world were we not defrauded as children and coerced to be part of this hotel operation? We would love to understand that. If I signed my contract at 14 years old, how old were you, Laura?
I was 3.5 years, almost 4 years old with my red crayon. I remember choosing the red because I wanted red.
And did they have you sign it again though before you started?
Yeah. So then I was at around 4, and then I signed it again at like 10 years old, and then I signed it again before we were shipped to Clearwater at 13 when I was 13.
So 3 times a child was pitched an agreement.
A billion year.
To be there for a billion years. How old were you?
And every time the contract just got shinier and more golden horses.
And it just became this beautiful thing. I signed my first contract at 7 years old.
7.
And I was promised.
This is impossible to defend. Again, our parents were very happy. They were singing praises, saying how great it was, how amazing it was, and whatever. And we're calling upon them to check that decision that they made for us in that situation. Because them knowing a lot of what was going to go down, unfortunately for them, they knew a lot. They knew more that should have actually, been like, well, maybe this is for me, but maybe, I'll let my child decide at 18 even. Like, okay, maybe at 18 you decide if you want to be a part of this or not. But there's just
I think they need to be older. For me personally, they need to be of smoking age, because that place is going to stress you out so bad that you're going to pick up smoking.
And alcohol. Yeah. I mean, 21 and up is sort of like the only arbitrary age that
another thing I remembered, the smoking and the drinking, being Danny Masterson's friend, going to these clubs. The first time I ever went to a club underage was with Danny Masterson. He got me in. Brighton Goss and Danny Masterson at the Avalon in Hollywood. So, like, it's all a connection. Oh, and then, and then later Danny's like, hey, Megs, are you on course? I heard you were smoking marijuana. And I was like, didn't you smoke? And he was like, no, I've never done that. So it's just like an insane thing. Like, oh, damn, I had this idea that Danny never smokes marijuana, so I should look up to him and think, like, actually, I got this false information from some Scientologist who's probably a really good in-standing Scientologist, and I assumed that they were making this seem not like a big deal. Like, he literally was trying to, as part of, and probably one of his ethics handlings, was trying to get me to go into the Hillhurst mission to go get an ethics meter check and get an ARC brake handling and whatever, which I did do. Anyways, I just remember being at the Avalon later with him, telling him, saying like, not, what the hell, you're smoking weed? And I was going like, you're the one who got me in. Like, I was just kind of like, there are people in your crowd who do this. Why do you think I wouldn't smoke weed? Anywho.
Yeah. Like, talk about an instigator of drama. But you also had, as a kid,
But then I'm hooking up with his friends, Eric Balfour or whoever the heck, you know what I mean? Like, these are all people in his crowd that tended to do the similar things he was doing. Obviously, that's a big thing to say because maybe perhaps they weren't raping and drugging people. But I'm saying that when you have a group of people like a Sea Org group organization saying, oh, okay, well, he's not really doing that. Well, he's not really doing that. It allows the person to be absolutely okay with what they're doing. So, and
here's the
journalists and
question.
investigators should go in and literally just see what happens when a child is doing TRs for 3 hours, one little 15-minute break, and then 3 hours again every day for a month with an elderly person or somebody that they shouldn't be doing that with. What is it numbing? What is it doing? You know, psychologically, how long? You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah. So here's a question. Chicey? I'm probably butchering that name, but I wonder why
Chase.
CPS. I thought it's Chase too, but
I don't know.
since they're, I don't know. I wonder why CPS can't get involved. Religion, I guess. They have to actually make a phone call to CPS or to the police because I know in my case they didn't make a call. They, like, my mother's superiors all knew, people all knew, and they did not make a call to CPS, not once.
But I would also say that somebody in CPS, Child Protective Services, watching this video and even just a clip, you don't have to send them this whole long boring video, just kidding, but send them this clip where we're saying, no, somebody needs to go in and do this is enough evidence from children who were in that. Our voice, our words is enough for a Child Protective Services just to go in and see what's going on.
Yep.
Same for the elderly in there. And maybe do it when it's not planned. Like, maybe go in when they haven't manipulated you into believing everything's fine. Like, maybe
Like
do
Bible
diligence and do your job the way a real investigator would do it. How am I being not shown how children are being abused in these organizations? I need to figure that out because clearly I'm not seeing it. Go figure it out.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they could. I mean, realistic. We do have a couple questions and I want to get your guys' opinion on them. So the first one, since your voice is not totally shot, do you want to read them, Serge?
Question: did you meet Alexa from Meet Predators? She really put herself out there for so many issues. Well, I think you're the first one to actually meet her, Laura. How was your meeting?
Yeah, I met her. I saw her post, her doing the first protest at the, down, we call it Big Blue, on L. Ron Hubbard Way and Fountain. Foxy, not right now, thank you. But Laura's dog toy, I just saw that. But yeah, I have no idea still. I haven't watched, I don't know what Alexa did as a child or a Hollywood star or whatever. I still haven't watched it and I really don't care, but I think she's an amazing person. And when I came up to the protest, the first time, my first protest, or my first Scientology protest, it was very sort of like, oh, good, whoever said this post about this thing is going to be here. Like, it felt like for once somebody said, kept their word.
Yeah.
And it felt like, okay, well, that's real and I'm here. And then I just saw everybody was just doing their protest, how they do it all together. And so that felt really cool that there was no sort of controlled little groupie culty vibe. There was none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that was the first time I met her, was at the first Scientology protest we did.
Yeah, this was
Like
my first time meeting her. I talked to her and her husband beforehand. And yeah, it was it was nice to hear someone caring that they understood that Scientology is going to do stuff to try to prevent us from, doing a protest, whether it was cutting down all the trees or, deciding they were going to shred the trees at the same time we were trying to rally.
Yeah, and I met her at the rally, had a quick conversation with her beforehand, but um, I just really felt that she was bringing a very authentic voice and a powerful one, having done a lot of work on herself to expose the whole like celebrity child industry, where we know that there's so many parallels between, the unlawful conservatorship of Britney Spears and, how all of these Nickelodeon kids were being treated and who was getting the money from what kid and all kind of horrendous, unthinkable, disgusting back end deals. And then these kids being put to work, and again, Hollywood and Scientology have one thing in common, you guys. They both adulticize children and they both infantilize themselves. All the Hollywood people, oh yeah, we're just artists. We can just try this and try that. You know what? Miss us with that BS. Go get creativity somewhere else. Don't do it at the expense of kids who, are not old enough to know if they want to consent. Again, going back to this ridiculous, simple idea so that everyone all the way far back understands what in the hell we're talking about. If a child's not old enough to consent, why in the hell are they getting ensnared in things that they should not be pressed with having to make decisions on? And that's why, shame on Hollywood for exploiting kids as if your movie matters. You know what? Miss us with your BS movie. Your entertainment is BS. Like, we don't care about it. Figure it out. Figure out another creative way where you don't exploit a child if you still want to make that child content. It's like, in what world is abusing somebody a good thing to do? But apparently Hollywood and Scientology think it's great. Let's just adulticize the kids. Let's pretend that they are just adults, just like all of us. And, it hasn't worked out well, you guys. How many kids has Hollywood lost to drug addiction? And, we know exactly what in the hell this means. So, same thing in Scientology. How many of us kids have ended up in those situations? It's not a good situation for kids to be adulticized and for those infantilized adults to continue to run around unhinged because, you know what? They don't think there's anything wrong with adulticizing kids and they're willing to defend it. Well, you know what? It'd be great to start hearing some of those pathetic defenses. By all means, we welcome your pathetic, stupid ass defense. Because it'd be interesting to pitch to us the kids that did survive being treated as adults, that did live to tell, to really hear the excuses that all of these Hollywood executives and Scientology executives that were all about adulticizing kids, doesn't matter, they can do it. And they hand selected us, you guys, like based on psychologically profiling us. Oh, this one's like this. Oh, this one's like that. Like Laura and I, you guys see that we're very confrontational. Well, as kids, we had to be like that because they were literally always after us. So we had to defend ourselves. But then Laura gets put to do ethics handlings and I get to be a sec checker because, oh yeah, you guys have what it takes to do those kind of things. You can confront people and, they were weaponizing our intelligence, again, against our consent. We didn't know what in the hell we were being put to do.
No, we didn't. Okay.
Liz, I just put that picture there. If you want to pull it up, it's just Serge's sign that he had at the protest, which I think is so appropriate for just being straight up with our message. Like, kids can't consent. So where's the law there? Where's the justice and the legal? Where's the road for this to not happen? That's the road. Don't let any kids into Scientology because that is Scientology. They are a grooming machine and they have to start young. That's why Scientology works the way it is working. Not that Scientology technology works.
Yeah. Let's be
clear about that. Yeah.
Let's not do any more clay demonstrations.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I just thought that was cool.
I love that picture. I really do.
Yeah. Y'all should go follow Serge Delmar on his on your, what's your Instagram? Serge Delmar, right? I'm always like Serge Kids of Scientology. Yeah, Serge Delmar. Sergedelmar.
Yeah.
So here's a question for everybody. Question: when was the last time you all been outside this hotel? Me personally, I've driven by it. I've driven by it, but at the same time, I've never actually set foot that close to it or did the little, when we got told that we can't cross the cement line or we're trespassing. I did the little look, I'm on this side. Now I'm back on the law. I'm on this side. And then I'm back in law, and so it was, or I kept saying something funny, like I'm breaking the law. I'm not breaking the law. I'm breaking the law. I'm not breaking the law. Um, I realized that places that I had painted weren't as scary as I thought they were.
Hmm.
Because that place used to bring a lot of fear for me.
I mean, and for me, you guys, I had not really a direct relationship with Celebrity Center. I was not inside of that hotel. I was stuck at the Fort Harrison Hotel, which in many ways was worse because, again, in Florida, they take it to, and you saw the culture in Florida and California, Lara. So, like the Florida people were even worse. I mean, as if this could even get any worse, honestly. I mean, it's like literally where do you put the level of insanity? But
And then it gets even worse, when you go to Gold Base. So I mean, full circle. When you go to the so great, everything's so pretty, and no, it's like all a lie. It's all manipulated lies to form a very soft, precious, new brain, heart, mind, body that is just born, literally for me, into this thing. So it's just like, what is the intention of that? Why should something like this be a religion, and why should it ever involve kids?
Yeah. So here was the question that I had.
Oh, the last time I was outside this hotel was about a month or so before that. I was leaving a little "Where's Shelly" note, on their little mailbox thing. So they didn't like that either.
Yeah, they didn't. I'm sure they didn't. But you were also letting anybody that drove close, like you're like, see the sign, cause disconnection. See the sign, suppressive, honk for me, and I'm just like,
You mean on the on the protest? Yeah. I need
yeah,
them to read it. I need them to know. And then they're like, "Oh, proud SP. What's that?" I'm like, "SP is when you get excommunicated." It was just a quick, driving by. They're stopping at the light. I'm like, I got a good 5 seconds, 10 seconds in here. And I just quickly explained what it is. And I was like, and now they did that to people who were born and raised in it, have no idea of the outside world. I was like, that was me. So that's why I'm goldenrod and I'm a proud SP. And they're like, oh, awesome. Like, people really don't know about it because Scientology compresses this shit down so much and then attacks people who are exposing it, or drains the money of people who are bringing them to court. Like, they have their ways of dealing with calling people who are protecting the protesters who are getting the word out. They have, calling the cops on these people. It's just like they have their ways of doing it. And we know this because we were all in it. And we know, yep, security would do that. Oh, yep, those would be HCO matters or whatever. So everything was departmentalized for us. So you can't tell us we don't know what we're talking about. We literally were part of the structure of this body, of this.
they dominated us with fear. That's all they ever had. Fear. Like, fear is the only stock and trade of these people. They're not powerful. They're not intelligent. They don't have anything special for themselves inside of those hotels. It's just this entitlement of, literally instilling fear on others to protect what, again, all of these Scientology parents, all of these Scientology executives are so pressed to do to kids. They don't want to lose the right to abduct more kids inside of those hotels.
Yeah.
They're going to squeal if you even say, oh, no child should be in there. Oh, how could you be negating our rights? We can do whatever in the hell we want. And you know what? They did do whatever in the hell they wanted with us. But
and look
we
where it
are in
got
the
us.
year 2023. We have evolved, we have changed, we have, checked the pitches again. Each one of those memos from L. Ron Hubbard that they did make me read as a child and instruct others on how to conduct these disgusting, abominable, barbaric interrogation sessions that should have never been a single child put to do those interrogations. And again, we're coming and talking common sense here, guys. Like, this is not some sort of like crazy opinion that we really do have. So I don't know. That's the next question.
Yeah.
That, that
I
was
was
the same one.
gonna. Oh, sorry. I was also gonna say, just so you two know, you didn't know this, but after when we were leaving, I walked by La Poubelle, and something happened, and I was like, "Oh, what's your sign?" Somebody was eating. I was like, "Oh, you're eating at this." So I started telling, and the owner of La Poubelle came out, and I argued with her in front of everybody. I was like, "You're the owner, Francis, Francie, whatever her name was." And I was like, "You wrote," and I said it out loud to everybody eating there. I had a nice little buzz on, so that was good. And so in front of everybody eating there, and she kept being like, "You need to get out of here, guys. Sorry about." And I was like, "Don't say sorry. They should I'm letting them know. Let them hear. Let them know what they're eating." Anyway, so I started that, and then she had this guy come out who's probably the manager she's having sex with, who knows. Anyways, and he was trying to say something, whatever, and he was trying, and he like bumped in, and she was like, "Oh, don't touch her." And I was like, "That's right, do not touch me," because and yeah, and I was like, "See, you do know." And I said, "Oh," she was trying to say, "I don't even know what an SP is." She's such a fucking liar. You don't know what an SP is. Anyway, so I was just like, that was really fun to just see her lie to me right there in front of my face, trying to protect her image. Nope. She was like, "I'm going to call the cops." I was like, "Go ahead. I'll wait here for you while you call them." And then he was like, "You want me to call?" And she was like, No. She was saying something. "No, I'm just going to." I was like, "You're not. Because you don't want this attention around your restaurant." So, and I kept being like, "I will stay here as long as I want." And then I didn't, but I wanted them to feel like I was going to.
Yeah, we'll go right back
It
to
felt
that
really
story
good.
of
I'm
you
serious.
walking
This
by
gave
them.
me a lot of strength, you guys. But yeah,
Good.
it felt really good to let everybody know about that, and then I walked away. Or one of the sweet protesters was like, "Okay, Laura, come on." I was like, "Okay, let's go."
Yep. Growing up in Scientology, Liz, Serge, Laura, you're all badass yesterday. I hope I can join you next time. Sweet, sweet.
Thank you. Oh, was that AA, Ron?
Yes, it was.
Oh, I'm so disappointed in AA Ron for not being there. So the next one, I don't know when that will be, but guess what, AA Ron? If it's in Clearwater, I'll be there. Anywho.
Yeah, we'll all figure a way to get to Clearwater. We all will. And even if we have to drag Serge kicking and screaming, he's gonna be there.
And I gotta say that AA Ron, you are so amazing, and he looked like he was DJing, running all our channels while we were on the live. Like later I looked up, like, "Look at Aaron," like, okay. Oh my God. He's having his own PTSD and laughing. He's probably going through the exact same emotions we were, just not right there. Yeah.
Probably.
Thank you, AA Ron.
All right. Jenny Wong, I hope I said that right. I loved watching all three of you protest yesterday. It was awesome to see the support you received. I particularly loved the cars honking. I loved them too.
Well, and you know what? It's like it really shows where public sentiment is on this issue, guys. Apparently, the LAPD are so clueless, can't do any sort of investigation for themselves. But, the citizens of Los Angeles are just as sick of this scourge having to subsidize with their taxpayer dollars things that they are also not consenting to. But the IRS thinks it's a great idea, and California thinks it's a great idea. Why don't we just charge all of these Californians to, subsidize these trafficking minors inside hotels? Because they can't just do anything about it, because we're going to just force them to pay for this, force them to give these people, hook them up with no social betterment that they're doing. You cannot be abusing kids and then be doing social betterment. So whatever social delusion betterment you thought you were doing is all canceled by the fact of how all adults inside of those hotels are treating children. It's not okay. It's unthinkable. It's dangerous. It presents a clear and present danger for a child to be told they're an adult. And we would know how much of that danger is real and how much of that danger has been trivialized, to the detriment of all these kids. Because, Scientology's been around, you guys, for 73 plus years. And in 73 plus years, we've had almost literally no advocacy for kids. You almost wouldn't even think that kids are part of the problem, because the corporate media, to start with, doesn't make it a problem, because you know what? They don't want to go there. That's not the story they want to tell. Apparently, the corporate media really has a lot of really great ideas on what type of stories should be told. And despite having access to so many of us that went through this experience as children, all we see from the crooked corporate media is crickets. So all that provides the LAPD more cover to play dumb. Oh, well, the corporate media is not calling it out, then we also can play dumb. And all of a sudden, the two people that should be independent to make sure that, hotels like this cannot just flourish and prosper without a shred of checks and balances. Guys, there's no checks and balances inside of those hotels. They lock the doors. As you guys saw, everything is wired. And the only people that know what's going on inside of those hotels are vetted people that these people are okay with coming inside the hotel. So again, in what world are you running a social betterment campaign where you're vetting people to be helped so much? So the honking is real, and the public sentiment in California is that these people need to go. And, us showing up and all of you guys in the comments showing up, understanding and advocating for this simple fact. Those kids didn't consent. We didn't consent. No child ever consents. So Scientology parents, start thinking about that when you go to sleep tonight.
Yeah,
Is
and
my
so
child
many
capable of consenting?
and so many times we tried, in the ways we were allowed to, we tried to say, we don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. This is uncomfortable. What do I have to do to stop?
Yep.
As children, we were saying that. So read the sheets, watch the video, read the sheets of written down auditing sheet papers. Wants to lead this room, is refusing to talk about her overt, whatever it is. Like, I don't want to be there. Especially with my own mother. My own mother was auditing me on the basics of Scientology, which is memories and how to begin to learn the torturing role of auditing. Like using self-analysis on me, and then TRs and objectives. Like, this is permanently building my core as a child to have to do and think and be a Scientologist for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Where's the choice in that? There was no choice. The choice was, all right, if you really want to sing, then hurry up and get your ethics in and stay in line basically for the next 4 or 5 years. And then once you get to gold base, you can do whatever you need to do, which is all a lie, by the way, because we know what everything is when you go to gold base. It's not even what we think it is at gold base.
No, they make it out to be kumbaya land. Like the rooms are so much better. The food is so much better. They have a dentist. Oh my God. They have all these.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's like a unicorn fart. Like,
and the real thing is, you feel as a child literally like you're burdening the dentist. You're burdening your mom and parents by asking them for underwear or like just basic needs. It's kind of a burden. So like, if you don't have a really bad cavity or swollen tonsil or something going on dentally where you're like not fainting, then try to just save it for the other kid or somebody, because they might not even be able to get it done in time. We might just have to pull the tooth today and then do it whatever it is, you know, or sometimes just pull the tooth because it's going to cost more money to try to have to fix it any other way.
Yeah. So they'll go the cheapest route possible, no matter the pain.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
You
Miss
want me to
Chief.
read that?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
My
thinking
voice
your
is killing
voice.
me. I'm gonna
Ex
start in
Miss
there.
Chief X. Question: were you connected to each other when you were in the cult? Yes. Serge and I were, from when I went from the Int Ranch hellhole to Clearwater hellhole. Hellhole Hotel, Clearwater. And then Liz, I met you through SBTV and everything, but
Yep.
her dad actually is at Gold Base currently with my mother, from what we know. So they've definitely Bob Ferris, and I have heard Bob Ferris, and I've seen Bob Ferris as a kid. I just didn't know that he ever had a daughter. No idea.
Yeah.
So that's how we kind of deeply connect, anyways, whether we knew each other during the whole cult
Yeah. Our
years or
parents no
not.
longer take ownership.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, we kind of all connect in that way.
Very true. Okay. Here's the one that I thought was just cutest. Summer Savage question: can Wogs join your protest? Would love to join you.
Yes, 100%. That's what it's all about. It's what it's all about, so that Liz doesn't blow her voice out.
Hey, I had to
She
try to
has
keep up
5
with
signs
you.
and 10 people yelling it for her as well, and she can enjoy it as well. So yeah, you can absolutely. And yeah, this term, the WOGS, is I guess we are changing it, I guess, into something, you know, nice and peaceful for what it is. And it's hard to not say it, especially when we've grown up in that way, to use it to really separate. This person is not even slightly a Scientologist. They are definitely the other. They're on the other side, you know? So it's really, but yes, anybody can join a Scientology protest. Literally anybody.
Yeah.
But if you're not a cool person and you're a petty or you're somebody, you're don't show up to our protest. That's just gonna get found out real quick. Somebody asked in the chat, has anybody checked out Anthony's thing? You know, I'm like, no, but I just think it doesn't matter either way. He is running an office. Whether he's a good person or not is not the point. The point is people in the system seeing what's happening who have interest in wanting to help in this area. It's cool that they had jumped off to go and promote and see, like, I'm gonna help this. Look, this protest needs attention. My job
Never
was,
ends. Never ends. If you were never in, but you have kept up with the
yeah,
stories
good
that you're
way.
hearing,
Yeah,
then
never
you
ends. So yes,
definitely,
anybody can come in.
yeah.
See, and I do like never ends the term more than I like the other one.
Yeah.
Question: has anyone verified that Mayor of Burbank yet? Actually, yeah, Miranda, he was verified. I saw it on his Instagram account that he is running a campaign, because that was the other trippy thing about doing this protest, you guys. We are being bombarded with people coming with questions and this and that, and it's not an environment where we know who's who, or we've never meet people. And you know, like Laura was able to very fast confront that guy that was there. And that's also the power of having all of you guys on our lives when we're doing the protest, because again, we're all witnessing everything together. And
Yeah.
and Scientology PIs don't like that. As soon as you said that you were videoing and on YouTube, he ran so fast. So just to
I
show you
also
that,
said that to the owner of La Poubelle. I said, oh, I have 5 cameras on you right now, and I didn't. By the way, I was like, "Where's Liz's body cam?" But I said it and immediately was like, "That's why I said don't touch her." Like literally, and I was like, "Mm-hmm." So
Exactly. I'm glad you guys verified him. I did not. I was too busy. Good. That and I forgot about it.
we will be investigating. So question, Renee B, is there misogyny in Scientology where women are less than? I actually have never heard that before because so many are higher levels. There's definitely that, but it's also I feel like that misogyny really comes a lot from David Miscavige. Like because like
But
everybody
there's
else,
misogyny on the rhetoric, that whole 1950s BS
right? Like
from
the old
L. Ron Hubbard.
generational,
Women
yeah.
are women and they should just be cleaning and washing and rearing children because they're not good for anything else. And anytime they try to be anything else is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to be a human trafficker, like Debbie Cook, she was a woman. And they love those women being complete and utter unhinged, egocentrical, narcissistic, literal nightmares. So
Manipulators. So they're manipulating.
they
They're
were,
using their young heart, their young woman heart to like get even deeper.
But there's also a feel like from an executive standpoint, like Nora would have had to call me sir. And if I didn't accept, and if I allowed her to call me Liz, then we're both in trouble because I could not, I was to be referred to as sir and she was to be referred to as Nora.
yeah, well, I mean,
And it's not ma'am, it was, sir or your position. But
yeah, but the misogyny is talking about like, where women being made specifically less than. I mean, definitely LGBTQ issues were definitely immediate less than. But the culture in the women in the Sea Org was not anti-woman. In fact, it was like majority of the executives were women. There were more women in executive positions than men at any given time because they were more organized, they were more unhinged. For there was something about women in the Sea Org that made them so like brutally sadistic, and they
I
all
think it
kind of
just
had
felt
that.
like men. I feel now that I'm thinking, I feel like it just felt like men because the top 8 people that spoke at events were men. Like that's
yeah,
the only thing.
Correct. It
So
was,
the public eye would only see this.
yeah. But then internally, how the hotel was running, it was all women, which also makes this very unthinkable, guys,
And
because
young children, like young ladies,
all of these
young women, like
women
children.
were the ones that were abusing the kids. Like people like that we talked about so many times. Debbie Cook herself was calling the abuse to happen to kids. So you would think that women would have had some sort of maternal instinct to protect kids, but nope, not in the hotel. Like women were, nope, they're just adults in small bodies. We can do whatever. You have your kid showing up to you, Laura.
you say, mama, you're not going to protest again today, are you?
We're almost done with the questions, right? Because I actually have to go too.
Yeah. Okay, so I can tag them all later afterwards, but let's see.
Just scroll through some more before Serge goes.
Okay.
Question: do you know the names of officers yesterday so SPTV can make a report to investigate police corruption? We can zoom in on videos and stuff. We definitely have, it's all on film and stuff. That would be really cool. That's just a lot of work for us ex-Scientology kids to deal with. Right now, we're just continuing to protest, basically. But so if anybody
Yeah,
out there
it's
wants to,
showing
I
up.
would love that. Yeah, investigate, do it all. If there's yeah. Question from Kelly BC: can the ex cult of Scientology children not do a class action lawsuit, or is a statute of limitations? We don't have full details on that, but Serge has more, just he's done his own knowledge on that, but more people need to be speaking and coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids of this, like, it's not
The
enough
problem
for
with the
just the
situation,
20
guys,
of
is
us.
that the trafficking is not being addressed as child trafficking.
Yeah.
We're still, pretending that this wasn't child trafficking, that we were having a very religious experience for ourselves, and that everything was okay. Because in America, yes, a convicted felon can write something in a memo. The IRS can say, oh, this is very religious. And all of a sudden, the laws are nowhere to be found to be enforced. So whether we like it or not, that's the reality today. The law has failed all the children that were put through this. Our entire formative years were utterly depleted, utterly stolen. We were literally co-opted into becoming roles that no child should ever be. Laura and I were put to be the so-called ethics officers of adults and we were put into tiny rooms to dominate and humiliate adults, because apparently that was really going to do a lot of things for us. Apparently, we really did learn in a 2-week course inside a hotel how to do that to adults that were paying to sit in front of us and have this done. So yet again, it's like the whole Scientology thing. It's like Scientology's those audits, Scientology's those ethics handling, Scientology's doing courses, Scientology's nothing else but those 3 things. But so much of the corporate media glib coverage always goes into this hocus pocus, whatever in the hell glib understanding of the facts that they have, given that none of them go inside the hotels, none of them take a course, none of them go get an ethics handling, none of it check it out for themselves. They're always just, so what was your experience? And then with them having no eyeballs inside the hotels, that's why their stories, you guys, are so stupid all the time. Because these are people that were told that another person told them that another person, and then they conjured up something in an editorial board room, and then they quickly ran that through their department of legal to make sure they didn't say anything that they don't know what in the hell they're talking about, that they can't back up with their own evidence. But again, where's their skin in the game of this corporate media? Where is it? Because you know what? It was nowhere to be found pretty much when the Epstein victims where human trafficking at scale happened in Florida. Again, another state where, rampant trafficking of minors is apparently very easy to get away with by billionaires, as if Scientology is not a bunch of billionaires doing what Jeffrey and Ghislaine were doing at this much of a scale, you guys. Also, here's a celebrity, come, celebrities. Well, who's recruiting celebrities and bringing kids to serve the celebrities? Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine, and so are these people. So again, there's hundreds and if not thousands of us second generation kids that were put through this whole thing. But we're being told that we all collectively had a religious experience, that we all signed a contract that was very binding at 7 years old, at 11 years old, at 15 years old, and that's what we're calling BS. We're sick of being lied to our face with full straight faces from all the corrupt politicians of California on down to Florida. Because this is a red issue, this is a blue issue. Both parties are state sanctioning the industrial child trafficking, abuse of minors being brought from all manner of countries, carefully plucked in to come into this country with special organized visas that apparently ICE, another 3-letter agency that is sleeping at the wheel, just letting, oh, you're 16 coming from Siberia. Oh, but you are coming to Scientology. Oh, you're very religious then. Go. Like, we need to start understanding how that could possibly work, how all the authorities could be so easy to dupe. The people from ICE, the people from the FBI, the people from the LAPD, the people from the Clearwater Police, the people from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. How many police people can be duped that fast by people working inside of a hotel? Literally. Like, it's not like these people are some sort of geniuses of nothing. They studied 2 quick courses inside hotels, and then all of a sudden, they pretend they're very special. Well, they're very special at getting away with criminal activity. That's all we see. So until we don't start seeing that actual criminal cases get opened up, we have no interest in civil litigation. Never mind that Florida has made it completely, almost nearly impossible to have anything heard in a court. Because again, you signed your contract, that statutes of limitation right now, you really should have figured out that you were being child trafficked. Why did you wait so long, is what we're being told. Meanwhile, it took us decades to go to one organization to protest, to assert our First Amendment right. You know, it still feels foreign that we have that right because we never had it when we were inside the hotel. All we had to do was cross the threshold of that hotel and all of a sudden shut the hell up. What are you talking about? You can't be critical. You can't have a thought. You can't say this. You can't say that. We control you. We know better. We know better. You're an idiot. And just acquiesce, and consent to all these bullshit stuff that we're going to do to you because your parents said it's okay. So shut the hell up and take it. So, no, we're not okay with that. We're not okay with that treatment. We're not okay with that treatment for other minors that, don't have anyone saying these points for them. The corporate media is not saying that for them. The corporate media is telling them, you're just having an amazing time inside of those hotels. And this is what America's all about. Freedom of religion, you guys. Well, you know what? No. Freedom of religion doesn't mean that you get to do any unhinged thing you want to kids. And extremist, radicalized cells are unacceptable, whether they're Hamas, whether they're Scientology, whether they're whatever in the hell you're calling it. If you're radicalizing children, and then you're co-opting them, and then you're literally commoditizing them to do the unthinkable for you, it's time to check yourselves. America, as if you don't have the scourge of radicalization being state sanctioned by your own MF country. You're really going to go solve terrorism when you have homegrown radicalizing cells inside hotels that, you pretend, oh no, that's what we call religion here. You see? We really do think in the ability of a convicted felon to write memos to screw up all these kids. And none of us can do anything because, he did write that in that memo that, lock someone against their will. So as pathetic as this is, it just shows us that, no one in legal knows what in the hell they're doing. All of this is just a PR stint that we're seeing, and the really thing that really controls the law is money. As long as you pay the LAPD to protect you, they'll play dumb for as long as they need to. Well, you know what? Their time to play dumb is out. It's out, and it's over, because we see straight through you. It's taken a lot for us to get this intelligent and be able to see through the manipulation and the scare tactics, like you, Laura, like you showed up, and it's like, you're not going to be intimidated. We're not going to go in fear. We're doing nothing wrong. The people that are doing things wrong are inside of that hotel, and all these people are pretending that they're doing nothing wrong. So we're done with that. We're not children to be manipulated and played with. We know what in the hell we're talking about. So that's why we can demand and be this, this adamant about this stopping, you guys, because we don't want to be yapping away for 10 years. It's like, we need the kids out of those hotels today, tomorrow, next day. And then after all kids are out, grab all the elderlies out. And then whoever wants to stay there, that's 21 and up and the elderly age, sign a new contract. Make sure that you're going to be consenting to all of it. And then let them do whatever in the hell they want. We don't care.
Yeah.
We cannot help you. If that's what you want for your life, whatever, call it whatever in the hell you have to call it. We don't care. We're not coming to stop you from doing disgusting things to yourselves. Do it if that's what you want to do. But no kids and no elderly is allowed at all.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
All right.
Also, I would say we just started learning the laws and for ourselves. Oh, where can we go? They're not allowed to touch me at all? Great. I feel safer. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does feel a little safer. Did you need to go, Serge?
Yeah, I'll let you guys finish all of that. So thank you so much for holding this, and good talking to all of you.
I love it.
You too, darling. Yeah, you're so awesome. I love that you jumped out. I was like, oh, yeah.
This is going to be a challenge.
The 3 exhausted little bunnies are giving our success story.
Right?
Yes. All right, guys. Bye.
Love you so much, Serge.
Love you. All right.
All
We
right,
have
let's
a few
go to
more
the next
questions.
question. Thank you, Kelly BC.
All right.
Also, me and Liz do the edibles, so definitely maybe my eyes are definitely stony eyes because of my pen. I don't feel that exhausted, but I do have to work tomorrow, so it'll be a good night's sleep for me. This is just capping it off.
It will. It'll be so nice and so early that it's like, oh. But no, I'm rip roaring and ready, because some of these I want to get to. And
Rhonda
then I get to tell them
W.
all about the video of yours today.
Oh, I like that. What it says in the thing. Life is short. Enjoy your coffee. But I would put like enjoy your tea or whatever, because I don't drink coffee. Okay. Anywho.
Comment. I know protest is the right meaning, but I like rally to support survivors on the outside.
What is that? I know protest is the right meaning, but I
Right
like
word.
rally of supporters / survivors on the outside. Yeah, cool. Next one, darling. Or do we not have any more?
No, we have more. Sorry. Catherine, and your voices for all those who can't use their own. You are making an impact.
Thank you.
You should have heard Laura. Like I bow to your whistle.
Yeah, I got that vibration whistle. That's I love using that, especially when they say, "Oh, you can't use the foghorns or whatever." I'm like, "That's okay. I got a whistle. That's gonna
You have a
annoy,
whistle.
and it will be clean and clear and da 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 and you know what I mean?"
Mm-hmm.
And I got a strong voice, so
You do. All right. So, did the other one not? Of course it didn't.
he didn't click on it.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Comment. Oh, it's Maryland. It's illegal for tax exempt organizations to give money to politicians and political. Yeah, we know that, Maryland.
We know. We just.
But it does.
They
It
still do.
happens in ways just like people they're not accepting the fact that auditing is the trade, is the exchange for getting off your sins and however you want to call it in the outside world. That's what they're paying. Auditing, they're just calling it auditing. It's like kind of when you go to a bar, you know, a private party, and they can't really sell. They don't have a license to have alcohol, but you're buying a tag or a ticket, and then you go bring the ticket to get the beer. It's that tag ticket is the literal evidence. It's called auditing that show exactly how they do this, and then how they do it legally by being hidden behind a religion and then hiding that person's information, everything they've given off in sessions and all that for their whole lives. Because when you go into Scientology to get auditing, you have to do a life history. You do it before you join the Sea, or you do it before anything. They get your whole life history. And then once you do it and you think they make you do it again. Because and later they'll make you do it again. So that if you forgot something or whatever, and then they have you doing your life history in every year. So there you go. So that's how, yeah, it's I understand the whole politician and everything, but what is good is somebody coming out, being a politician or running for a politician position, saying, I do not give or endorse or receive money from Scientology on our YouTube. That's pretty powerful, period. So
yeah,
that was really, yeah.
So we have one more before we talk about Vaboop's amazing video.
Boop, boop, boop.
Whistleblowing Good Witch. Liz, you seemed so joyful and committed yesterday, as was Carrie, Betty Boop. Oh, you mean Vaboop. Betty Boop, Vanessa. Okay. Lara, and 100% engaged to protest. Holy crap, you guys literally took your voices back yesterday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it felt good. Felt really good.
It did. It did feel
like I'm like, ooh, okay, good. I'm gonna feel more and more at ease every time I do this, and it'll start to get real fun.
I think it is fun.
I mean, it
honestly felt
it's just
fun.
like, yeah. But at times it's also, you know, like feeling the guy lying to me on the film, like filming me. I was just like, this isn't fun, dude. You're not being a cool dude. But it was also an interesting thing to receive a perspective of somebody who thinks that I don't know what they're doing.
Right. Now, here was my question.
Why
is it that all of us were distracted by random people when that happened to you?
Because I noticed that. I was like, where is all my peeps? I was looking good there, da da da. And I said, who is this? And that's where my attention went. Who is that random dude? So I left. I probably just got a swig of my little vitamin electrolytes, and then I was walking toward the camera guy right away because I was like, you know, but then I was trying to see what he's doing. Is he, you know, will he come up and ask for an interview? Is he just nice? Is he a nice guy? Is he just doing a cool overall protest? Is he just, you know, and he immediately once I said, wait, you're a Scientologist, or I said, you were either paid like $100, maybe 500, and just certain things I was saying started to make him uncomfortable, and I could see, even if he wasn't a Scientologist, this person is starting to lose his, I'm here to
Posture,
just
I'm so
film.
cool.
Right, and I have strength. And then after he couldn't get he was trying to get really close with the camera, and I just moved my SPTC, so you just see my hair probably in the camera that says Proud SP, you know, coming out the top of my sign. And so he moved my sign because he was annoyed that he couldn't get my face that close. And I said, you don't
Yep.
touch my sign. I could get you arrested for that right now.
Yep.
And then he freaked out. And I think he had an ear thing. I'm sure somebody was just like, all right, man, just go, because you can get arrested right now. They probably told him that in his ear, in the earpiece.
Yep, he crossed
And
the
he
boundary.
bounced. I literally was like, bye, bitch. That's
Bye,
right.
Felicia.
Anywho, so yeah.
So as I was explaining earlier on my before you guys so happily joined me, that you had given me a minor heart attack.
Yeah.
Caused my anxiety and my blood pressure to shoot up to dangerous levels.
But then you were like, okay, I need to tell myself to not freak out that hard. I need, right? You can't put that, what I'm saying is you can't put that pressure on your beautiful heart. So just kind of go, let me breathe first before I hear that nothing happened. So then you go like, oh, okay, good. But that was a good learning. But that was so cute when I turned out like my little scooty boosh.
Yeah, because we all tried
and then I could hear that your voice was shot. That was so funny. Good job. And then your little with Angels SP, that made me laugh in my little stony happy
I know,
drunk.
and we had your shirt in the car, and I'm like, okay, I'll just give it to Vanessa. Then I forgot to give it to Vanessa because we were trying to get a hold of you, and nothing was, none of your phone was off, and we play a dangerous game, and you're not allowed to go
the phone died
missing.
during everybody saw on the live. Phone died during the protest. And then I didn't care after that because then the protest was done like maybe 10 minutes after that. And I knew that everybody else was still streaming. So I was just like, good. I just was like, okay, let's go eat and have drinks. And like, it was just so great. Wow.
Yes,
Exhaustion, but in a good way.
I'm definitely glad that you got some you time.
Yeah, that was fun. I love doing that.
I love that you hang out with anybody. But it's
not anybody. I have a good detector.
Oh, you have the bullshit detector. You're like,
and if you are bullshitting me, let's do some more. Let me just figure out the reason why and everything before you even know that I know.
Oh, look who just popped in.
Oh, hi, Mr. Lifeboat.
I know, Tommy.
Yep, Tommy, one of the little nice protectors.
Yeah.
Supporters, protector.
He was a lot taller than I thought he was going to be.
Oh, I didn't realize you never met him.
Like I watched the Lifeboat because of sobriety, but when I saw how tall he was, I was like, you're like a Christmas tree, dude.
He's probably laughing right now.
Probably, but it was. I'm all. I haven't. Hi.
Hey,
like
there,
I didn't realize
Tommy.
I'm that short. Like 5'7" obviously is very short nowadays.
Right, it's pretty comforting. It's pretty comforting. Good job, Tommy. That's what I said to him. Hey, it's Tommy.
Nice. So but overall you had a great experience?
Yeah. Like in no way was there anything in dealing with the police officers and talking to the tree cut, there's all the steps all the way. It just felt like, yeah, like a learning thing. And then it was like release and then learning. And then I was like, okay, I feel strong right here. Okay, good. I'm going to take a little break. You know, like it just felt good. And always with you guys watching live, you guys, I can't tell it enough. It's so, I didn't stream this on my channel just because I thought it was going to be quick. And then I was like, look at us now. Nope.
Negative.
But next time, it's good. I love doing this on your channel anyway. But so yeah, you know, just having everybody in the live and then having the people that literally come from our SPTV community showing physically up in human form, literally at the protest, shows that even the people in the live chat are just as important as that. You know what I mean? For me, that's what it feels like when I'm there. When I was there protesting, knowing, hey, I got my live stream rolling. So like, it's just, it feels like, to me, it's a protection thing. It feels really sweet and comforting. That's it. And it makes me be able to be the strong, loud person that I am. And
See, and I liked when my favorite part before we all got started is when you were just singing your songs.
that was fun.
Because it was, you know, they want to sit there and say that we're super suppressive, and then here comes some nice music. It's not hurtful. There's nothing malicious.
No.
Like,
And it
I
came from
love,
a time when I was afraid to really talk about it all out loud, but I needed to in some way. And I was like, I'm not going to waste my time or the person who's making this music with me. It still has to be real. It has to be. So it was really cool. Like, even in ways like that, music was really therapeutic for me, where I was able to say things without saying it out loud. And even if I was saying it out loud, both sides would kind of think the other, like, not so bad of the other thing, you know. No, yeah.
yeah.
So
You know, here's what got me. I got an email from someone. You might have an email too, but a person had emailed that they were so proud that we weren't yelling at the tree trimmers or the police officers because they were just doing a job.
oh no, I was telling them, like, I was laughing with them and using the only little few Spanish words that I do know and being so funny. I made them laugh. They're like, yeah, no, they did. They tell us what time. And I said, I know. I was like, no mames. Oh, it was great. And so even that felt good. I felt like, yeah, these are people I used to trim trees. Like, this is so funny. Like, and I remember even when the dust was, this is so horrible. Like, I just can't imagine for other protests, if somebody was doing and they were cutting trees, they would literally stop. If they were like, oh, I support this, we're going to stop because we don't feel good that we accidentally overscheduled. When Scientology literally purposely schedules these things to happen. So anyways,
Yep.
I remember standing there, even talking with Tommy a little bit, and then even talking to the guy that was filming me. I'm like, oh, yeah, you got that palm in there. And I was kind of like, okay. I was like, are you lying to me? I was kind of just being funny with him at first, just to kind of catch his intentions. But even Tommy was there like, but like, as we're protesting and doing this, like, palm dust, like, going all up in our eyes and everything. But I just was like, don't care. Maybe that's
Right?
also why my eyes are a little bit redder today. That's true. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
and I
go
had a
with
nice few
sunburnt.
drinks. Oh, no, I had sunblock on. I have this really
Your
nice
eyes get
foundation.
sunburned.
I
You know
think
your
right,
eyes
you know
can get
what, right
sunburned.
here, yeah, because I was sweating a little too, so it drips down. Anyways, right here, I think I did get a little sunburn because it does feel a little cheek, cheek, cheek.
Yeah, my nose still hurts. I do see a big old compliment for you though.
Oh, Amy Scobie, sweetie. Laura's beautiful. Look at that uniform in her picture. It's so creepy. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
Laura's
the
beautiful
the
voice.
Class A button
I
always
mean,
got
it
me.
just, when I do look at it though, it does feel like she did a good job, like making sure it was like really put on there. She's laughing at us right now. I can feel it. Okay.
Probably because she's like,
She's like, guys, it looked good. I looked
I was,
sharp. I was your
yeah,
sharpest tool in the drawer, or whatever they say.
sharpest tool in the shed.
Lara's beautiful voice singing over the hurt that cult inflicted on your young life. Beautiful and healing. Yes, it freaking is. Amy, I can't wait. Maybe, you know, if they do the Clearwater protest or something, maybe, Amy said laughing, maybe I'll, like, there's a way that we can set up like an actual show where we can, so people can see the whole actual live show with real sound and all that. And it's like being recorded properly through a stream where you can hear it properly. So it doesn't sound like But that would be really fun, even as a protest sort of end thing. And I feel like Danny Mustard, is that he was just on with Vanessa.
With V.
That was such a great conversation, and he seems so awesome. Like he seems exactly like like where he's supposed to be. Like it's just like really cool to see his growth. Like that's crazy. But also for him to be able to be there singing, like that would be super amazing. To have, oh, you're gonna cut palm trees down in front of us and stuff. Well, we're gonna play some music and, you know, make music to the horns honking. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean?
Hey, I do have a deal with you after listening to you say that. If there's one in Florida, I'll go.
Yeah, that would be so fun. I'm sure we could get a little whatever fun thing that's like, hey, who wants to get us to Clearwater?
Yeah, who wants to help get us to Clearwater where flying cockroaches, you'd wake up and they'd be on your cheek. It was amazing at
Vanessa,
that
plug
hotel.
your ears.
Yeah, sorry, V-Boop. When I know you're listening to this is a warning for V-Boop. Yeah, I killed many a cockroaches in that hotel. Like shoes.
Okay, but I
went
also
flying.
don't like cockroach. I mean, apparently, I just watched this bug documentary thing, and bugs obviously are really important and like literally. Every time
Yeah,
I
'cause
learn
they're
something, I'm
fun.
like, no, like literally. Look, Amy Scobie, literally, one fell on top of my face in the middle of the night. No, no, no. That is so, Amy, or the thing when you pick up your glass of water or something, and you go to
And
sip and you feel the bump on the lip,
or touch it, you're
or
so
fly,
tired
or
and
something.
it touches your tongue or something. It's all.
No, I can't. No.
You're
No. Okay,
welcome.
we're gonna change the subject.
Okay, good. So
Gross.
yes, I'm totally down. I would go to Clearwater. I know we have quite a few people in Clearwater. I know it wouldn't, we would definitely have Mr. Aaron.
Yeah, sorry, I laughed at Jane's joke. She said, "That's the governor on your cheek, Liz." LOL.
I got it.
Like,
Um,
oh my gosh.
but yeah, I would definitely do that, and I will be loud, and I will probably come home with no voice because, although I did not work at Clearwater, they definitely covered up quite a lot of abuses there.
Yeah. Not even covering it up, but continuing to groom and form the people that are there and the minors that all this is normal. Like as we were younger children, seeing other adults normalize that have children. For example, Barbara Tompkins and Ann Weber, they were good parents, I thought, in my eyes. Like they did whatever they were doing. Now it's hard for me to even say that because I see a whole different view. But I do understand this. Whatever love we did get sort of was meaningful in whatever the best way they could be, I guess.
Yeah.
But so seeing the connection of all that and them having children and normalizing all this behavior, or even when I have said this so many times about the spanking things and then finally telling my mom and having that whole like panic attack breakdown and then her coming back saying like, have you seen the policy letter? It's just like, it just kind of is like, okay, well, I guess if the group and the policy says this, then it's all normalized and it's okay. It's fine. Or not fine. I have to just
You'd have to
figure
take it.
out what I'm doing that I'm deserving. Like, why don't we just not get you spankings at all? So my mom's outcome was messed up, but in a way, it was also whatever she could do. And it was, well, how can we get you to stop getting the spankings? So that she didn't have to argue with the policy. And then she would just say, what are you arguing with Renee Berther about? Or, God, don't send me down that hole, guys. I just remembered all the reasons I was getting spankings. And that's a
Yeah, me
no-no for
too.
me right now.
I'm
No
all-
more exhaustion.
Yeah, here we go. Here's one.
Oh, Miranda Brinker, OMG, Lara, your conversation with Mike was a roller coaster of emotions. Yeah, talk about that. I literally was like, I must have looked like a psycho because I was like laughing at points and feeling like close with him. It was so weird. And then like also feeling like, oh my God, I'm not even like letting him sort of apologize, but I kept sort of not cutting him off. He already prepared him for that before the chat. He knew that. Everybody knows that, okay? So I'm going to jump in with like my thoughts and cuz I feel like doing that it heals and gets the things out that sometimes I hate getting off a stream being like I didn't even ask any of these questions. So like it was good that I was able to run through these questions. And then on another thing, I feel like we'll do another chat where I have so many more other questions and things to talk about. So to hear him apologize and do that when he's already apologized to me directly and stuff like that, I kind of already had not forgiven him. I don't know if that's like the thing. It just sort of healed. The understanding of it now felt healed. Like it felt, and maybe not thoroughly. There's definitely, I get these little like, oh yeah, I remember this thing. So we're going to do another talk, but it was a roller coaster of emotions. All of this is. So we're really loving that you guys are here. Miranda was
Absolutely.
checking in on me. She's so sweet.
Driving around with no glasses and everything looked foggy. But I was gonna find the goldenrod. It can't be that hard
I
to
was like,
find in Los
hey,
Angeles.
you know that? Yeah. I ain't changing no outfits. No outfit change until the day's over.
That's right. But I know you're busy. I don't know if you want to continue or
You
what.
look exhausted, baby. Let's go to sleep.
I am totally down to go to sleep. So I want to say thank you, everybody. Please smash the subscribe, hit the like. Everybody knows, follow Lara FM. Please remember, everybody, be nice to everyone in the comments. We are all human.
Yes.
And until we talk again.
I may be an alien.
No, still human. Talk to you all later.